Hey guys, Anders here with another video. This one is going to be a little bit different as over the past few weeks the BDO community has been undergoing some sort of emotional turmoil, I guess you could say, over the recent game changes. I wanted to wait a little while and gather my own thoughts before bringing you a video so as to not get over emotional about what could be something of little consequence. Now with that said, we're going to go over three things in this video. Is BDO worth playing right now? What is the state of BDO after the pay to win changes? And what does the future hold for BDO? I'll try to make this concise and stick to what we know so you can make your own decisions as to whether or not BDO is the right game for you. Now, is BDO worth playing right now? Yes, it's a good game with low entry cost. The majority of the changes that have been implemented affect players who are at later stages of the game. So as a new player, you won't feel the downside of the pay to win elements until you get further into the game. In my experience, most players who stick around past the earlier stages of BDO tend to accept and deal with the enhancement and progression system of the game. Right now, the game throws you a lot of free stuff for starting out, not to mention we always seem to have some sort of an event running to give you even more money to progress with. If you're on console and are waiting to hear news about BDO coming to Xbox, well, fall is ending and we have yet to see the beta release. There was a status update on the Xbox website basically telling us that they're working hard and to stay tuned for small-scale tests to begin soon. Essentially, no new information, which for many is disappointing and understandably so, and the game was supposed to have a Q1 2018 release, and I honestly don't see it coming out on Xbox till the middle part of next year or around the release of Black Desert Mobile early next year. So what is the state of BDO after pay to win changes? I'm not gonna lie, it's in a poor state at the moment. To make things clear, we're calling pay to win as real life money giving you an advantage in the game. There are many other games that have more criminal pay to win mechanics than BDO in my opinion, but to make things simpler, we'll define pay to win as that. Now due to that, BDO has really been pay to win since 2016. So if you're seeing a lot of BDO has gone pay to win or BDO is dead after pay to win changes, really the game has always been pay to win and they're just sensationalizing for clicks. Now here's what has changed. We received Khafre Stones, Valks Cry, and Kron stone extraction. Khafre Stones allows you to infuse your weapons and armors with Khafre's levels that once you fully level allow you to enhance to the next tier with certainty. Each level gives you additional stats and it has become a way to progress past the highest tier of enhancement, Pen. Some people are even calling this Pen Plus. You can acquire Khafre's through in-game means only by pretty much doing anything in the game. The downside is you need thousands to reach max Khafre's levels on one item, and it would cost you tens of billions of silver if you were to try and buy them off the marketplace. The other change is Kron stone extraction from costumes. The costumes from the cash shop allow you to extract almost 220 Kron stones from a full premium set priced at around $34 US. There is no limit on how many costumes you can purchase for yourself. This means you can get as many Kron stones as you want as long as you can afford it. Kron stones are then used to attempt higher tier enhancements on weapons and armor without fear of a downgrade of tier. A single pen attempt will cost you 1,220 Kron stones or so, or about $200 US. There is zero guarantee the item will enhance, so you're still relying on RNG. If you have the money, you can obtain full pen with some luck. Now 99% of the population will not be able to do this, but it is still feasible by those few. Now Valks Cry is an item that you can obtain through costume extraction as well as in-game and allows you to add an additional 10 fail stack on your character. This is useful to push some of your fail stacks into a TET or pen range, but again, this is not guaranteed to succeed your enhancements, it just gives you an imaginary boost to your chances. Now these additions have been prevalent in other versions of BDO around the world, but it is just now arriving to us here in North America and Europe. I personally don't have a problem with these mechanics, but I do think Kakao went about implementing these changes in a rather, let's say, unfortunate manner. Kakao, quote, "In a recent internal study, it was concluded that NA-EU players were far less likely to engage in enhancement than other serviced regions. We believe the introduction of Valks Cry will add to our ongoing efforts to lower the hurdles of enhancement." This makes no sense. Everyone, including casual players, will tell you enhancing in this game is terrible. I'd bet the majority of people quit because of it. So instead of fixing the enhancement system, they're giving us ways to spend more money to not have to deal with the frustration of it and just deal with the frustration of RNG. That's not what I call fun. The timing of these additions was also very poor. Renown changes were ill-received universally. If you're new and don't know what Renown is, it essentially is a gear stat booster that gives you more attack or defense depending on how much AP or DP you have. It shifted the meta to a pure AP, as the scaling at higher attack values is absolutely insane. It made the gear gap between newer players and veteran players that much wider. Apart from the Renown, we also get massive class overhauls, with many classes losing their protected status on skills, as well as CC mechanics being reworked so much, classes that had defined identities no longer do. The troubling thing about the changes aren't the changes themselves, but rather the unfinished feeling most of us have to these changes. There were supposed to be individual class modifications after the overhaul to sort of balance things out, but we haven't seen any of that in months. Well, that's the more negative sides of what's going on with BDO right now. So what does the future hold? We know we're getting a new class, Male Ranger. He should be releasing later this year in Korea, and well, if I'm honest, probably the end of springtime for the rest of us, if not later. He will be a pure range DPS, so more than likely very strong in sieges and group play, and after he releases, we'll see the new region Ordolita in the spring for Korea, and maybe early next year for the rest of us. Dragon, which came out last year in Korea, will be releasing for us in the coming weeks, and should bring in a slew of changes, most notably the complete life skill progression system revamp by the introduction of Manos tools. With these new items, you will be gearing up a completely new set of gear for a life skill profession and trying to enhance them using new enhancement materials. So if you really hate enhancing, then you're really not going to enjoy the Manos update. The next big mechanics update will be the revamped economy and marketplace system, which should at least alleviate some of the frustrations with the marketplace system. Instead of spending time in front of the marketplace NPC, you can simply set buy orders for items you want, and those orders will fill as the items get listed at your price range. They also mentioned the mobile app where you could do this from as well, but that doesn't seem to be anywhere close to finished. Now, in the end, Black Desert hasn't changed in its progression, but has been slow to fix valid complaints by the community. It seems they're aware of the community's unhappiness with the lack of balance in classes, but it just seems to me that they don't really know how to fix the combat system just yet. Perlibus did at one point say they have aspirations for BDO becoming an esport, and members of the community are trying to make this a reality, but until an equalized arena system with a better spectator mode can be implemented, I just don't see anyone taking this approach seriously. I still play the game, and there are goals I've yet to achieve personally, which is what drives me to keep playing, but I understand someone quitting over these recent changes. In the end though, Black Desert is a game first and foremost, and it shouldn't feel stressful to play. The minute an MMO feels like a job is when you should consider taking a break and coming back to it when something catches your attention. Now, I hope you guys found this video useful, and I hope to help you guys out if you decide to stick around and check out what Black Desert has to offer. That's it for me. I'll be back tomorrow with a weekly update from not just our version of the game, but from KR and test server as well. Thanks for listening, guys. You guys take care. I'll see you all tomorrow.